Hello, everyone, and welcome to Creator Outlet, a series where I and another creator are given the exact same short story prompt and compare our final results for your entertainment. There are very few rules outside the 1 month time constraint, and the reason for that is because you all are the judges. So make sure to let us know whose story you liked the best at the end of the video. And help me welcome our first ever guest, MedusaRulesFree. January's prompt was, your character is old, easily upset, and worried. The story begins in a casino. A family get-together arranged. The theme is betrayal. What did you think about this prompt whenever we first got it?
Okay, when I first read this, I was like, how the hell do I even do this? I know nothing about a casino.
Mm-hmm.
Never been. So I was like, I don't know what to do. And let alone write old lady or old man, like be a grouch. Like, how do you even come up with that?
Yeah, I mean, I was in the same boat. I've been to a casino, but I've only ever been one time, and it was whenever I was like, I think freshly 18. So it's been a minute. I am 27 now. I also, I'm, despite what my community says, I'm not actually old. So it's a little hard to put yourself in the shoes of someone that's a little older or much older in this case. I'm also not, I am anxious, but I wouldn't call myself easily upset or worried. So this character is like nothing like me, which made it a little harder to kind of get in the mind of and relate to. And not to mention, a casino for a family get together is such a weird combination.
Who comes up with that?
Yeah, let it be
Yeah.
known, I did offer for us to choose a different theme or like re-roll it because it was so weird and out there. But she was like,
Well,
nah,
yeah.
nah.
Okay, no. Let me explain. I didn't go, nah. Well, okay. I went, I felt like it would be a challenge. I wanted a challenge, because it's like I'm used to like certain things and I want to explore a little bit and see where my range of skills can go or my thought process to like creativity. So it's like I wanted something that would challenge and feel authentic and really be like, okay, I really have to put some work into it. So it wasn't like half ass.
Yeah. I do think that this is definitely one of the harder ones that we're going to have to do, which is so unfortunate because that's our first ever one. How did you go about planning for or like brainstorming how you were going to do this? Hopefully without giving us any spoilers, of course.
Well, first off, it took me like a whole month. A
Took
whole
us
month
pretty much
to
the
be
whole time,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I didn't have a damn thing typing up at all. I was literally like in my head thinking about it. I'm like, I know nothing about a casino. So I end up talking to like strangers about it. I was like, hey, have you ever been to a casino? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, so what is it? What is it like?
What's the
I even went to
vibe?
my
What's the
dad.
vibe?
Yeah. I even went to my dad. I was like, yo, like what's it like and he goes, okay, well, it's this, and he goes, but watch out for the old people, like they
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, they
Like,
do know.
really. Yeah, so like he told me about like if you see somebody like on those like slot machines, I guess that's what you call them,
Mhm.
or like the coin, like the ones that roll. Again,
Yeah.
as you can tell, I don't
Yeah,
know
it's a
about
slot
prompts.
machine.
So, oh, okay. So like they were good because I put that in my story. But like, oh, I used the wrong word. Okay, that was embarrassing. Let me fix that real quick. Um, but like he goes like if someone is losing and like you'll see an old person just stand by the side and just be watching because as soon as someone gets up, they don't hesitate. They will literally like go in and sit. And he says sometimes they will sit and be working two machines at the same time. Nope. We'll be watching literally be working two machines at the same time, having like their bag right next to them. And he's like, I've never seen like a group of old people just be like really like how do you say it? Because
Guarded.
like yeah, like
Yeah.
like they have strength. They're not fragile little things, but like when it comes to money,
They're not
when it
playing.
comes, oh no.
Whenever it came to me planning and brainstorming, I am not somebody that like brainstorms out a lot. I am normally somebody that's like pen to paper, fix it as you go, write chunks as they come to you. I rewrote the beginning 3 times because I just could not figure out where to go with it. I really struggled with this prompt. Um, did you have any other ideas or endings that you didn't choose for your story?
Think I'm so used to writing fantasy stuff. So
Mhm.
my brain was like, I can make this into like a whole different world fantasy combo, you know, it's like gunslinging, bang bang, you
Casino
know?
Narnia.
Like
Like, yeah.
yeah. And then at first I was like, oh, what if I did a robbery? It's like, wait, no, because knowing myself, I was like, how do I make that into a short story when my brain will be like, oh, we can write for hours, so we can keep going. I'm like, no, no, no. So I was like, let's stick with what I know. Again, it took me a whole month, so I just kept reworking it in my head until I was like, huh, okay. And this is how I knew. I was like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
I was cooking. I was cooking and
Literally
I
and
was sitting
figuratively.
there. Yeah, literally. And I was like, oh, this is how I'll do it. And, you know, and I started talking to my uncle about like, okay, betrayal, got it. This is what I'm gonna do. Bing, 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 boom. I can't really say without like
Yeah.
spoiling. So yeah.
I like the ending that I did come up with, but I did have a different ending. Originally, what I was gonna go for was like the whole. I mean, we're in a casino, a family get together, obviously like the mafia, right? So I'm like, oh, Granny isn't as innocent or scared as she seems. She's like the ex lead of the mafia, but they thought it was their father because she decided to step down at the same time he died. So it was like a cover up for her being the leader. So they think their mother is like weak and whatever, and they're trying to get rid of her. Um, but obviously, I was like, I don't feel like writing John Wick right now, and so I won't. Um, uh,
Yeah.
also, I want to mention that we're like, oh, it took us a whole month. It took us a whole month. There's nothing wrong with taking that long, and it might seem like a really long time to a lot of people, but both of us have jobs, both of us have hobbies, and we have a lot of stuff we have to do outside of that. So brainstorming and doing all this extra stuff, it was actually pretty hard. A month did not feel long enough. Literally, she had to message me because I've been working on D&D stuff and a bunch of other projects. She had to message me and be like, "Hey girl, what about this?" And I was like, "Oh, uh-oh, I forgot." And I was like, we got to get together like next week and we'll do this. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
we've got a
And
lot
it's
on
so
our
funny
plates.
because yeah, like even when I had reach out, I still was nowhere near like done with my ending. I was done in here, but I
But
wasn't done on paper.
exactly. And with that,
So
would you like to start us off by reading us your short story?
yeah. Oh, oh God. Okay. It's like every time I gotta read, like my mouth gets watery or
See,
dry.
that's exactly why I went and I grabbed my water bottle. Sponsor me, Awala. I love you.
When we arrived, it was the smell that hit me at first as I stepped out of the car. A stale, earthy scent mixed with the sweetness of cheap perfume. A heavy feeling weighing my body as it surrounds me like a thick wool blanket. You could taste it on your tongue, dry and warm, enough to make me feel dehydrated. A dry click escaped my lips, louder than expected. A useless attempt to moisturize my lips with my tongue. I need water, I said in a weary, quick tone as I looked over to my granddaughter Jenny. She was too busy soaking in the adrenaline from coming into our destination to even notice a thing of what I said, at least until our eyes met. Hmm? What was that, Grandmama? Leaning in just a fraction to become leveled with me, trying to sound concerned. I need some water, my dear, repeating my words a bit softer than my first approach. Oh, yes, Grandmama, we'll get you some water, flashing her pearly white teeth at me as she reached to link arms with me. In her eyes, I must have looked as if I needed some support. So I let her have her moment of generosity and helping an old lady across the threshold. Voices crowded the air, crashing into noises, bleeding into one dissensive overlap until it lost all meaning. At least to me, none of it was worth holding my attention. How quickly a woman becomes overstimulated. It wasn't long before the lights became overwhelming, beating down on my sight and tightening the space with bodies gathering too close, too intimately. I could feel their excitement and anxiety, anxiousness, energy bouncing off one another. What a stupid place to be for a family vacation. All right, everyone, gather around, my daughter Linda said, effortlessly commanding the family's attention. Let's see. One, two, three, four, five, and Linda's eyes were already scanning over our heads for her damn beloved husband. A greedy, bloody bastard, if you ask me, but no one ever does. Where's Richard? Sound not surprised, as it did not take her long for her eyes to land on him, just two machines down at the bar, ordering himself a drink like it's happy hour. Linda exhaled sharply before turning her attention to us now. Anyways, remember to set a limit on your play money. Be smart, be safe, okay? James, stick with your sister, Jenny, and Mom, stick with the kids. Giving me that familiar knowing look as if she was entrusting me with something important, as if it wasn't just her way of easing her own consciousness and leaving an old woman occupied. The sound slipped from my lips before I could stop it. Oh, great. Now Grandma's in a mood. Come on, Linda. Leave Mom be. Let's just have some fun already. No need to be so uptight. My son Michael chimes in, leaning lazily on his sister's shoulders. His voice was whiny as he flashed thumbs up and that goofy smile of his. Oh, all right. Have fun, Linda muttered. Well, Michael didn't wait. He headed straight for the bar to join Richard, and without a second thought, Linda followed, leaving me with the kids. By nightfall, the air thickened with the loud voices and desperation heavier than before, no longer pretending to be welcoming as it reeked of sin. I shifted my seat as the noises around me pressed tighter like a dome beneath the sea. Casually, I reached to rub my temples with a sharp exhale, resting my elbows on the table. I happened to glance over to my right and immediately seeing the children. So naturally, I straightened up my posture, lowered my hand, and tapped my fingers on the surface. Hmm. Didn't take long for the children to come walking back with their tails between their legs. Amateurs, running through their money so quickly. Grandmama, you all right? Jenny's voice softens as her eyes flickered over my body language. Yes, my dear, just a little thirsty and in desperate need for the ladies' room. I offered her a warm, content smile to reassure her everything was fine. Oh, yes, the restroom happens to be over there, pointing towards the tall plants near the minibar and the glass divider separating from the bathroom. She reached for my arm and helped me up. How refreshing to get some help with my bad knees. Nevertheless, I managed to make my way to the ladies' room. The moment I stepped into the ladies' room, the fluorescent lights were blinding compared to the casino. A slight shiver ran down my spine as the sweat on my brow cooled instantly in the air conditioner stillness. But the buzzing of the lights in the quiet room felt like mercy, a break from the chaos of the world of sin. Didn't take me long to use the restroom to regain my composure to rejoin the children. Just as I was about to cut the corner, didn't take long for my eyes to notice it. Hands reaching in for my purse as if they belonged to them. Hands that belonged to my grandson James. I swear, I could hear the zipper whispering open as he was hands deep shuffling papers and didn't move. I could practically see Jenny's breath hitch as she whispered sharply and nervously, James, don't. Oh, come on, live a little, he muttered back. It's not like she's going to use it. Besides, she won't even miss it. You forget, she gets confused and she's just sitting there not doing anything with it. I watched that ungrateful brat take what he believed was his birthright, green bills folded and tucked away into his pocket, quickly and precise. He zipped up my purse, covering all tracks of evidence. Well, I do believe that is my cue. With a deep breath and a reset, I took a step forward. My handcuff came resting on my lower back and hunched over. Wobbling past the bar with unstable legs, I managed to make my way to the table. The moment I got there, Jenny stiffened up. Oh, you're back. Here, Grandmama, I got you some water. Her voice was a bit shaken and slightly faked as she placed the water down on the table. Thank you, dear. How thoughtful of you, taking a seat as I reach for the water. The cool liquid should have been a lifeline. Instead, it tastes of betrayal and soaked in their greed. Collectively, my eyes swept over to my glanced over at James. He seemed pretty content with himself, unbothered by his actions. How disappointing for the future of my bloodline will relish in their shortcomings. Well, I'm gonna go find mom and beg for some money and see when we're gonna go eat. James said so casually as he was already bored with the night. His eyes flickered to mine, then settled on Jenny. You coming? Jenny hesitated. Her gaze darted between me and her brother. She looked like she expected me to snap. But it's fine, dear. I interrupt gently. I set down my table. I set my glass down and patted the top of her hand. I will only slow you down. Besides, I'll be right here. That seemed to settle it, the warmth of her hand slipping from mine, and the two of them disappeared into the crowd. Good. Now the real fight could begin. I straightened in my chair, my spinal cord inch by inch. The art, the the arch, the ache in my back faded as I rolled my shoulders and let my mouth curl into a small private smile. My hands slipped inside my blouse, fingers closing around the folded bills tucked safely against my skin. The real money, crisp and untouched. Amateurs, I muttered, quickly counting before tucking it into my purse and raising to my feet. I head for the slot machines. Uh, coins chattering like old times seemed to spark the adrenaline that I thought had been locked away from my golden years. Neon veins running through the floor along the floors like a fever dream. The closer I moved towards the storms of bells and statics. You you go Ah, you could hear many voices shouting and laughing, groaning and bleeding into one intense echo. Damn, did it feel good to be back in my element. A young man shoved back from one of the machines with a curse tangled in his breath. His chair scraped hard against the floor while flashing lights marked him with another loss. He raked a hand through his hair, frustrated, stared at the screen like it had personally betrayed him. I mean, the machine didn't betray anyone, just his greed did, and the temptations to feed the damn thing. But hey, his ticket, his loss is my ticket, and boy, will it taste divine, my bad. The air around, the different, like taking a candy from a baby. I slipped into the seat before the cushion could even get cold. My fingers hovered over the buttons, a familiar warmth only I could provide. Oh, how the machine has been starved. Without hesitation, I fed it my bills and pressed play. It spun, it real spun once, twice, and then the world burst into colors, lights dancing viciously, screaming in victory as coins cascade in glittery avalanche. The sound cuts through the casino like a lion's roar, the tensions beating down on my neck. My lips curled into a slow, satisfied smile as the numbers raised higher and higher. Yes, that's more like it. With a amusing sigh, I leaned over to begin to scoop the coins into my purse, pockets, and whatever was left over into my hands. The coins seemed to celebrate the quiet revenge of my family's oversight. Raising slowly and confidently, I walked over to the cashier with each coins weighing me down. The woman behind the counter raised a brow and seemed to look over me as if she was expecting to see my caretaker. Careful, dear, I murmured. If you stare any longer, you will miss the part where I cashed out, giving her a small gesture to start counting. The night isn't getting younger. Her head jerked back slightly with a soft gasp in her throat. Her eyes dropped as she began to count my winnings. Practice, practice fingers sliding crisp bills across the surface, heavy and satisfying. I offered her a polite nod while I took the bills and tucked them away, and that's when I saw them. My family stood scattered near the entrance, their face drawn tight with worry and disbelief. Jenny spot me first. Her mouth part slightly, her eyes tracing the money in my hands, and the straightness in my back, the ease in my stride. I must have looked different, standing there with a grin and moving my fingers to press against my lips. Shh. I plucked a stranger's untouched whiskey near the table nearby and tossed it back like water. The burn bloom warmed in my chest, the sound of my heels clicking in a confident rhythm I hadn't worn in years as I turned to the entrance. The cool air kissed my skin in triumph, and I glanced over my shoulder one last time. Their faces blurred together, shocked, confused, and something else. The sight was glorious, and I couldn't help but to smirk in the sense of bragging just as the doors slid shut behind me, leaving them in disarray and half remembering dreams. Dream amateurs.
Woo! Okay. She's just like my grandma. My grandma would go to the casino. She had dementia, but except she would remember everything whenever she was at the casino. So, and that woman, literally, she went with us on my birthday and she won $600 off of a penny machine. So, old people
Wow.
really do, they're the best at gambling. I'm like, you know what?
Right?
Why not? You know what? Why not, grandma?
Dude, I mean, like, they're good at auctioning too.
That was really cool. I have a question. How old are the kids?
Yeah. I guess old enough.
Yeah, because you made them
No.
sound like they were like maybe 13 or 14, but you have to be 18 to gamble. So I'm like, what is this, Chuck E. Cheese? Like, what the fuck are they
Well,
gambling?
I mean, if we're being honest here, like, even if at this point in my time, I have learned that it really doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 30 years old and still act like a child,
That's
you
definitely
know?
true.
So like, so like, I kind of like in my head, I knew like they were like of age, but like not like grown adults, you know? They were just
Yeah,
probably just now like turning
18.
into like yeah, yeah. If anything, Jenny would probably be in maybe her 20s, but James being the youngest, of course.
18.
He's the youngest.
All right, well, that's a very tough act to follow. First of all, your ability to describe things in fun and interesting ways is something that I cannot do, at least not very easily, and definitely did not do a lot in this story. So I'm going to apologize. Her story is much longer than mine. Mine is a lot shorter. It's not as beautifully written either, but the ending is very different. So we at least have that to look forward to. Mine's only like literally mine is only 2 pages. Um, but you'll understand why. So
I'm so sorry for it being so long. I could not shut
no,
my
no, no,
brain
no,
off. I'm
no.
trying to get
Any other like I have a feeling so we already have our prompt for February, and just know that our guest for that month too. Yeah, that's another one of my besties. So next month's prompt or this month's prompt, really February's, is really good, and I'm probably going to write a lot more for it because it's a lot more open than this one was. This is such a weird prompt once again that it's a lot harder to write for. um and you'll see that I kind of went around it being in a casino a little bit. I kind of, I blurred the line a little bit, so forgive
Yeah.
me for that. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Listening.
Bright lights flashed almost in rhythm with the cacophony of noise elicited from just beyond the lobby. Paula rubbed her tingling, wrinkled fingers together, trying to muster up any warmth that she could as she hobbled through the sliding doors. This is not the kind of place you would expect to find her on a Saturday night. The noise, the people, everything scared her. It was all too much, but she was willing to brave it today because she was meeting up with some of her family. It had been years since all of them had been in one place like this. Now all she had to do was weave her way through the shuffling bodies and search for her kin. Or better yet, Hope one of them finds her first. As Paula trudged through the casino, hands holding onto each other as if to hold her frail body together, she glanced from face to face. Suddenly, she felt a hand on her shoulder and she jumped in time with a person's shriek of excitement. She turns to see a woman that was slightly taller, with long brown hair and eyes that mirrored hers. Mom! We were worried you got lost on your way here! She pulled Paula into her embrace, careful not to squeeze too hard. As she pulled away, she held her mother's hand in hers. Everyone else is already at the bar. I believe you were the last to show up. Macy's head swiveled to the bar and she tugged lightly on Paula as she made her way towards the rest of the family. I'm sorry it took me so long. That damn GPS in my car is temperamental and it kept taking me to the wrong place. Paula looked to her feet, trusting her daughter to guide her safely. She hated being in places this crowded. So many eyes she could feel boring into her flesh. Maybe they weren't actually looking at her, but she would never meet their gaze to discover the truth. As they passed the threshold of the casino into the surprisingly quiet bar, Paula's muscles relaxed a little. She hadn't even realized she was so wound up. As Macy dropped her hand, her eyes searched for the rest of the party. They were sitting at a table off in the corner, as they all turned almost in perfect unison to stare at her. Warm smiles and bright eyes slowly painted across their face, and Paula took a deep breath. I'm so sorry I was late. I hope you weren't waiting too long. Dean, her son, waved his hand through the air as if swatting at something. Oh, Mom, don't worry about it too much. I'm just happy to see you again. He stood up from his position and leaned down to hug Paula. She smiled against the embrace and let out a soft chuckle. It's so lovely to see you too. And I see you brought Sarah with you as well. It's so nice to see you, dear. You look just as beautiful as the last time I saw you. Paula walked over and leaned down into a hug. Oh, thank you. You're too kind. Sarah smiled down at the table, slightly embarrassed from the sudden attention. Take a seat. We already ordered a little bit of food. Dean pulled the chair from the table and gestured to it with a broad smile. He had always been such a gentleman. Paula was happy to know she raised a good man. As she sat down, Paula got a weird feeling in her stomach. More than likely a residual of the anxiety she had earlier. She was with her family. She should enjoy this time. Paula spoke with everyone at the table about the small things in life as the waiter brought out mixed drinks and fried foods, lining the small table with them. I wouldn't expect a place like this to serve food, even if it is only appetizers. Paula pushed some of the fried something around her small plate. She had lost her appetite a year ago, but if she didn't eat anything, the kids might notice. She really only ever ate one meal a day, typically some fresh vegetables and whatever protein she had. Paula was sure she was losing weight, but she hoped her flowing clothes would hide it from scrying eyes. I guess it's technically a restaurant and bar, Macy claimed as she gave a slight shrug, but bar sounds more fun. Everyone at the table chuckled and continued eating, not paying Paula any mind. Your father would have loved this place, Paula said as she glanced back towards the busy casino floor, only turning back once she noticed the silence at the table. Her eyes met with one's brimming with sorrow. She had done it again. She had ruined things. She always ruined things. Mom, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I just think of him. No, Mom, you didn't upset us. We miss him too. Macy moved over in her seat so she could grab Paula's hand. And we know you miss him more. Dean pursed his lips together and sighed. That's actually why we wanted to bring you to dinner. It's obvious you've been struggling without him, and of course we don't blame you. We loved him too. It's hard to see you like this, Mom. Macy cut in as Dean looked up towards the corner, very obviously trying not to cry. We are all very busy, and you aren't taking care of yourself like you used to. Tears began streaming down Macy's freckled face. I have watched you push around the same food on your plate all evening, and your clothes don't hide how much weight you've lost, Mom. You're practically skin and bones. Macy was close to hysterical at this point. Paula felt her world collapsing around her. She knew this was coming, but deep down, she had hoped her kids would ignore the very obvious problems. When had they noticed? Could she have hidden it better? It felt weird to be scolded by the children you raised. We have looked into a few places around here. They all seem great. Dean shifted in his seat uncomfortably and coughed. Let's go tour them tomorrow, all of us. We want you to be comfortable. I'm comfortable at home. It's peaceful there. You could always stop by, and Paula stumbled to provide an answer to get her out of this. No, Mom, we can't. Dean shook his head. I promise you will be happy. We can still visit you there, and we know someone will always be there to help you. I know it's selfish of us, but we want that peace of mind. Paula began to cry softly. putting her delicate wrinkled hand over her mouth as she shook her head. She knew this was final. All of her friends had gone through this. She had hoped it would be different for her. She knew that her kids would visit a few times in the first year, and probably only for holidays after that. And Paula was right. During her final year, her kids came to visit her once, on the day of her death. Very different, very, very different endings, by the way. Obviously, I want to, like, maybe some people understand, maybe some people don't. I'm assuming most people understand. But if you don't, very often, whenever your parents get older and you go to put them in a nursing home, it does feel like you are betraying them, whether it's you feel that way or they feel that way. And I kind of wanted to implement that into a short story of, I imagine that if I had kids in the future and they put me in a nursing home, I would feel abandoned and I would feel betrayed by the people that I took care of my entire life that I love so much, for them to be like, throwing her home, you know? So.
And like even then, like to not show up and only show when
Mm-hmm.
you're about to say goodbye, it's like I could have just been at home.
Yeah.
You know, if you were gonna forget about me, you know, like
Yeah, you could have let me done it at home, right?
Yeah, especially because like I been a caretaker and been around a lot of like elder people. So like I've seen both sides. I've seen this and I've also seen what I wrote too, where they're a little feisty. You'd be like,
oh yeah, you met my grandma.
you know.
You know.
Yeah.
My grandma was a hell of a woman.
For real, so was mine. I'm like, man, my parents will literally, they said that when they went out, there's a picture of my great grandmother for her 81 birthday smoking 2 cigars in her mouth.
She looked like Smoker from fucking One Piece.
right. So, and it's like they do feel forgotten, you know.
Yeah.
And it's rough. It's rough.
And you know, I know that this is a big issue in America, and obviously I can't really speak for anywhere else because I don't know the culture. But if you are from somewhere else, I would love to know how things are. But America is so go, go, go. And at times it's beneficial, but a lot of the times it's not, right? And this is one of those cases where it's not. In an ideal world, we would be able to take care of our parents once they got to that age, right? It only feels right because they took care of you for so long. But because of how everything is here, most people cannot afford to take care of their parents in that way. Or just aren't equipped, and I think it's okay to admit that you're not equipped to take care of somebody like that. I think that's very valid, but the fact that most people don't do it because they don't have time, that's really sad.
It's sad. But like there's also, I've seen a good portion of like a lot of them just do it because they feel like they're just waiting for them to go. The inheritance. Yeah, and it's sad. It's really sad.
But as somebody that
so good.
It was really short though.
Sorry. It was so good. Yeah, my heart. I was over there. Oh shit.
Yeah, like, I was worried that it was too short and kind of like too to the point, but I think it works better that way. That way you're like, oh, they're in a casino. Oh, they're having dinner. Oh. That's it.
But it's also like, fuck them for like.
But also yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're right. Go ahead.
I know. I just cursed.
No, like, I curse all the time.
Choosing a
casino
to be like, oh yeah, by the way, Mom, we're gonna put you in a nursing home.
Yeah. To their mom, like what? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like if you're gonna give news like that, then do something that I like to do before you just ease into that. Not something that y'all want to do.
You know, I thought about including the explanation for that because I do think it's very weird, like this setting for obviously a family get together, but especially for like this conversation. But I think that it also makes sense for her character that if she thought that they were going to have this conversation, because she does say that she knew it was going to happen sometime soon, that she wouldn't have shown up.
Yeah.
So this kind of threw her off. Yeah.
it because like another reason why it works so well too is because like in a way it kind of does show a little bit of selflessness on them,
Hmm.
because it's like you want to get her out, and obviously she wants family connection, but you guys choose a place that's like not, you can't really have that like bonding time.
Hmm.
And just to be like, oh yeah, we've noticed this, and then try to ease into it, but then when you finally get her there, you forget about her. So it's like even from the beginning of the story to the end, it's like they didn't actually care like they said that they care, because actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, I do think I cooked on the last part. I think that was because I was like, how do I end this and it like feel like an ending? But and Paula was right. During her final year, her kids came to visit once on the day of her death. Gas! Literally, I'm that Blackbeard
Yeah.
picture of him writing and there's just flames coming off the fucking pen, bro. Gas!
Yes.
That shit was gas. I literally, I wrote that line. I was like,
good.
oh, it was so good. Yeah.
That was good.
All that being said, if you still have your grandparents in your life, please, for the love of God, go give them a hug, give them a kiss, go visit them. I have one grandparent left, and I wish that I had all four of them. I love my grandparents very much, and I miss them so bad every single day. Try and spend time with
I will
them.
say out of experience, like I have no more grandpas. Um, but like my grandpa, oh my gosh, before like his final years, we never put him into a nursing home. We took care of him. We moved all that was the reason why we moved to Arkansas in the first place. Um,
Hmm.
we took care of him, and I remember like we would play the Wii with him, like we just spent so much time. And like
Oh,
and if you have your grandparents and like you have children, they want to be around the grandkids. Like don't take that from them, because it makes them feel alive. It reminds them so much of like when you guys were
yeah,
little, you know.
exactly. Oh my god, I'm gonna start crying. I used to play Wii bowling with my granny, like religiously.
Oh, that's a good
Oh.
game too.
And like Deal or
We
No Deal on the
swore.
Wii. Oh, I'm crying like a bitch right now. Please love on your grandparents. They will not be here forever. Your parents won't even be here forever. It's hard. Love on the people that you love because you might not have them tomorrow. Oh, this was not meant to be a super depressing episode, but it went there. I'm so sorry. Happy January. Yay.
You mean February? Oh no. Well, you're putting it
This is
in
for,
February.
well, but it's for January. Anyway, um do you have anything you would like to promote?
So, hi guys. This is actually seeing my face. I am on Twitch. I am going to be YouTubing. Um, my name is MedusaRulesFree. We will be playing like a little bit of everything. I would just say, we draw, we do poetry, but only on Saturdays. We will be doing D&D.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Everyone,
Okay.
in case you've missed it, we do actually have a Dungeons and Dragons campaign that we stream live on Twitch on multiple channels. Mine, Sansare's, Rayra's, and Shorty Pie's. It is called The Court of Borrowed Dreams. It is almost every Saturday that we stream. Times sadly fluctuate because a lot of us have different working schedules, but you will know the week before what time we're starting at. But if you're interested in that, we do actually have a VOD channel that you can go check it out on. I will leave that in the description. Medusa's links I will leave in the description as well. So please go show her some love. Go show the D&D channel some love. Um, yeah, I greatly appreciate you guys
Oh,
for hanging out.
I do have a TikTok as well. Medusa Real
Yes,
Free, same thing as well. That's where actually a lot of my poems. I do voiceovers and edits on my
that is
poems.
right. She
That's where
does.
I'll be posting those. Yeah, really,
Yes, thank you, thank
okay.
you. Thank you guys for watching Creator Outlet. This has been January's edition. And for February, I have a very special, talented baker coming to this channel. Know that we are doing a little fantasy short story, and I hope you guys look forward to it. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!